Hello again. Welcome to this episode where we'll be continuing from where we had left off. Now, today we'll be talking about the issue of noise in communication. You know that when communicating, there are different types of noise that may actually interact with what you have to say. And at the end of the day, it destroys the message that you're trying to pass across. So join me as we talk about noise in this particular about noise for today. Now, it may interest you to know that if a noise happens in the conversation that you're having, once again, it destroys a lot of things. The first on the list is actually the physical noise. Now, imagine that in your office, you are having a meeting next to an airport and you have those heavy aircraft taking off. The noise that generates from that aircraft is a physical noise because, by way of definition, a physical noise is the noise that results from your environment. So once your environment emits that noise, it becomes a problem. You might also be in a meeting, your friends is doing you this. That is a major distraction. That is also a noise. So when it comes to physical noise, you have to understand that it is a noise that has to come from your environment. Remember the word physical as being emblematic. Now let's go to the next type of noise. The next type of noise is the semantic noise. Just in case you're coming across this video for the very first time, please subscribe to this channel and also make sure to hit the notification button. Let's get your comments for further instruction and to know how we can modify these videos that we bring your way. In the previous class, I talked about communication and I did mention some of the things that can drag noise into your conversation. That's why we are here today. So let's talk about semantic noise. You know, the word semantic refers to what you say. Definitely. So what you say may become a semantic noise. How is it that way? Take, for example, you go to an occasion and the wordings that is being used in that occasion, you're not quite familiar with them. It becomes a semantic noise. A young child who is taking, say you take a young child, you take this baby boy here from primary 1 to primary 5. Okay, so the boy is here now and is in primary 5. The type of words that the boy is used to in primary 1 would not be the same words he would be predisposed to when he gets to primary 5. So something develops in his head, noise, and that is where semantic noise comes in. Now, semantic noise can actually happen in a verbalized situation, probably when you're talking, just like the young child. The young child can also experience the same semantic noise in writing. Because you take a book that belongs to primary 1 and you give it to this child that you've now transferred by one dint of fate or the other to basic 5. By the time the child gets that textbook of basic 5, they become confused. So it's all about semantic noise because the type of words that would emanate or come from what that child is used to in basic 1 or in primary 1 would not be the same type of words that will be used in primary 5. You can see where the problem of semantic noise comes in. Now let's go further. Talking about technical noise. I love this one. You can see in the video my friend that is editing a video or editing a sound. You can see in the video my friend that is editing a sound in the production suite. Now, take for example, after he's done editing that sound and maybe something was not done properly during the editing process and that sound is given an airplay, we decided to play that sound on radio. Because that mistake was made during the production time, technical noise can occur. Technical noise can also occur in instances where you go for a concert and the type of wiring and sound that he has set up was not properly done. So he decided to pick a mic and the next thing he hears is mic check 1 2 and you sound like a robot. That is the technical noise. Or probably halfway during the performance, everybody's happy, everybody's dancing, and all of a sudden somebody just trip a wire and everything goes bad. Technical noise has also happened. So technical noise is simply that noise that emanates from the wiring and functionality that certain people have created to make sure communication process happens. Now let's go to the next before we get to the very last one. We do have other types of noise, but these are the commonly encountered noise when you talk about communication. We come to the psychological noise. Psychological noise can happen in different instances. You just had a problem with a friend, and here you are going to a meeting where you still have to meet that friend. And it happens that that friend happens to be the facilitator who is going to be addressing the public in that particular conference. I can bet you most of what the friend would say, if you're yet to go beyond that angle where you can actually remove it from yourself or probably strip yourself of every biases to listen to that person, most of what that friend would say would not actually be appealing to you. You may not pay attention to it because there's already a psychological noise of the fact that you had a fight with that friend earlier in the day. So psychological noise can occur in many ways. It can be influenced by an external force in the case of your friend. It can also be influenced by an internal force in the case of what actually happens within you. Probably you're not too well, or probably you have multiple thoughts going on in your head. Psychological noise can ensure. The word speaks for itself. Psychological noise. It's a noise that happens in here. Now let's go to cultural noise. Have you ever been in a situation where you go to a place that you're not familiar with? Maybe a culture where you see people dress in a manner that you're not sure about, and you needed to say something, but maybe luckily they understand the same language that you use, but the complexity of language then differs. You might run into a cultural noise in the process of trying to talk to them because what you may say may actually be different from what they have been used to as regarding to understanding. I usually give my students this example. A person that has gone to a burial ceremony and he decided to, and that same person has been given the privilege to deliver a valedictory message. If that individual was to mount that podium and that valedictory message, and the next thing you hear them saying does not really tally about the person, you can encounter cultural noise. Take for example, a person who is giving a valedictory message, still the same person, at a burial ceremony decides to sing a song that is probably R&B, pop, and is not a dirge, a song that reflects, people's mode. That is a cultural noise because at that instant and at that moment, you're not aligning with the culture of what the people need there. So you can see that noise is actually very important when we learn to manage it. Sometimes, and most of the time, you cannot excuse noise. You cannot excuse noise. Noise must definitely happen. But the beauty of every good communication is the fact that you understand these set of noise. As a communicator, you must be able to understand how these noise work so that you can circumvent them. And by way of circumventing them, you'll be doing yourself a great good. This is what will help you to move through the communication process. This video will be talking about other items in communication and going beyond noise. I hope you enjoy this episode and do well to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to turn on the notification button and keep your questions coming through so we can get to improve on what we deliver to you here. Thank you.